How are you able to get your deals so low? That is a question that many investors or people who are starting in real estate are asking me. What's going on, guys? My name is Ilya Kos, also known as Ilya Kos, the Investor Cop. I'm a real estate entrepreneur and investor. In today's video, I'm going to cover with you how are we able to get these deals so low. So the first thing here is the misconception. And let's talk about that. The misconception is what the house is worth after it's repaired is also known as ARV, or after repair value. Now let's say the after repair value of the house is $100,000. And if you pick up this property for $30,000, people are shocked. They're like, who would ever sell their house for $30,000? Right? And you're probably shocked also if you're new to real estate. Like, how are you getting it so low? Well, the reality is, the misconception is that the after repair value is much different than current value. So the after repair value couldn't be $100,000, but the current value of the property maybe 45. And if it's $45,000 as the current value, then it doesn't seem so bad if you're going to pick it up at 30. It's only $15,000 difference compared to $55,000 difference. Does that make sense? So when you're negotiating with a seller, they may already know that the property needs work, it needs repairs. They don't have the luxury to do those repairs or the skills to do those repairs, so they're willing to negotiate with you, which brings us to the next one. They're willing to negotiate. And if you're a good negotiator, if you listen for those key facts, key points, and you're able to hear the people's problems, you're able to solve them, then you're able to get these deals at a really, really good price, right? So for negotiation, the key is to listen. I'll put a star next to it. Because sometimes they may seem like they have no urgency, no motivation, and they may say one or two words that triggers your investor ear where they say, whoa, okay, they need to sell. They don't want to sell. They have an urgency to sell. If they don't, X, Y, Z is going to happen. So you need to pay attention to all the words that they're saying. That's why it's very, very important to pay attention, listen, and then ask the right questions as well. So besides that, next thing I want to cover here is the invaluable service. So aside from getting the property for the misconception price, what it's worth in as-is condition, and what it's worth after it's repaired, listening to those key points and negotiating in order to make this deal much sweeter and better for you and for them, you need to provide an invaluable service. An invaluable service is just that. What service are you providing for your homeowner that benefits them, helps them out in their current situation, and that they cannot do themselves, right? So if the property needs a lot of repairs and needs a lot of work, you're buying it as is. What else may they need? A fast closing. Sometimes people have an urgency to sell because it's going to an auction. They inherited the property and they didn't realize that grandma hasn't been paying her taxes, and now the property is going to get sold in the next few days. So a fast closing is definitely important, as is purchase. Right? If you live in a different state and you have a family member who passed away, and then now you own a property in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but you live in New York, it's going to be very hard to manage the renovation project. When you say, it's going to be very hard to fly out there and start doing all the renovations. So they want an as-is purchase, fast closing. They also want a reliable company. So you need to have some sort of testimonial proof that you have done this before and that they can trust you. Now, if you're able to provide all three things and analyze the deal by listening, provide the invaluable service, and go into the negotiation without that misconception that, hey, I'm going to offer them so low and pick this deal up, pick it up by $30,000, and it's worth 100. Well, no, it's not worth 100. It's worth maybe 45, right? But you can't take those uncalculated risks for the repair cost, and you need to count those repair costs in there. So once you have those three, you're going to be a much better negotiator, and you'll also be able to buy these deals much lower. All right, guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I hope you found some value, and stay tuned for the next one.